years. COVID just said, it's time. So I did my course, and then we moved, and I started intermittently making applications with schools, and I just didn't come right. I couldn't get work. I just got rejection after rejection. People would sometimes not give me any reasons. They just say, we're not hiring, or you're not suitable. I thought, oh, I'm in my 50s. I'm never even going to get the money back, that I invested in the course. This is terrible. And I would give up. And then about 3 months later, I'd say, okay, come on, try again. And I'd Google top 10 schools or top 10 freelance platforms and just make application after application. Join some platforms like Teacher Record, where they try and find jobs for you. Nothing worked. I just couldn't get work. And I got so despondent, and I pretty much gave up. I did try again. I would pick myself after 3 months and try again. And to no avail. I just could not get work. And then somebody told me about the mentorship program that says a bunch of South African people, and it's so helpful. And I thought, oh, let me try. I was very dubious. I thought, oh, I don't know. Now I'm spending more money and I'm still not going to get work. I'm not convinced. But I joined the program. I thought, I'm just going to stick to it. Let me see. And honestly, it was the best thing I ever did. Within 2 weeks of completing the course, within 2 weeks, I got my first hit on Preply. And then I got 2 students, and then I took a break for Christmas over 9 days. And then from the 1st of January, my schedule just filled up. It was absolutely incredible. I opened it up till like 8 at night, and I just got bookings left, right, and center everywhere. And January has just been incredible. It's my first full month. And my family actually said to me, hey, you cannot be sitting in the office from 10 until 7 at night. I'm just not available suddenly. And so I've had to actually trim my schedule down. And the days where I'm not booked, I've tried to trim it down to 5 o'clock. I've been so busy. And I'm excited to say that today is the first day that I drew money. I drew $347, which equates to 5,800 Rand. I'm so excited. I've covered all my costs, and I just feel so hopeful, and there's so much potential for the future. Now, I know actually $347 isn't a lot, but remember, I am running a full-time family. I have 2 boys. I have a husband. I'm the maid. I'm the cook. So I don't actually have a lot of time. So I'm squeezing a very tight schedule. If you have a lot of time and you can open up your schedule to say 9 o'clock at night, you'll make double the amount of money. And this is my first month. I'm only on a very low dollar rate. And when you begin on the freelance platforms, they take quite a lot of commission for the newbies. And then as you commit and you do more hours, then your commission lowers and you can raise your price slightly, which I've done because my schedule was just taking off like wildfire. People couldn't find places to book. I have people booking little half-an-hour slots, and then another, so the whole day is back-to-back, no breaks. It's just been a whirlwind ride, absolutely crazy, but I love it. I have students in Israel, in Istanbul. I have someone living in Germany who's from Argentina, someone living in Montreal who's from Brazil. They want new jobs. They're not confident conversing. One of my favorite students is Liliana. She is a professor in Romania, super smart, but cannot speak English. She can academically read it and write it and do research, but she can't converse. So I just love it. I've even got children in Thailand. I absolutely love it. It's the most amazing and rewarding job that I've done. And you're building relationships with people. I've already had my girl in Tel Aviv tell me she's coming to visit me in South Africa. So it's just been fantastic. I'm loving it. And only 1 month in. I've given myself a target as well. By June, I would like to be earning $15 an hour. So just hoping that will come true, but I'm sure that it will. The biggest challenge on the mentorship program definitely was the video. I thought I would never be able to do it. I took about 150 takes. I was changing outfits and it was the wrong colors, and I just could not get it right. So that nearly made me quit, but I pushed on through. So any advice from me to you would be to just persevere. Just keep on. It will be worth it. It will. And the biggest thing I learned from the mentorship well, certainly from Zander, I would say he is so authentic. And if you watch his videos, when he's teaching, it's not really about him. It's about the student. And he just delivers a very real class. And I found that amazing lesson. So when I teach, I just try to be as real as possible. Don't try and be perfect, I don't try and be smart. I just try and deliver a really easy, comfortable, real lesson. And I try to build rapport with my students right from the start. And that was a great little tip that Sander gave us all. So yeah, I'm very grateful for the whole process and the results. And I just wish you all the best from me to you. Zander said a great thing as well. I didn't want to go onto the freelance platforms because when you go onto these sites, you see they've got 12,000 tutors and you think it's impossible. How will I get work? And he said, remember, there's 1.6 million users. So there are students that will be a perfect fit to you. So whatever you bring to the table is perfect. You don't have to try and be anything else because there is a student who needs exactly what you have.
Fantastic. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for joining our info session on online teaching. My name is Zander. I'll be hosting today's session, and I've spoken to most of you privately on WhatsApp and obviously on the group as well. So once again, thank you for taking the time to be here online. I know everyone's got busy lives, but I'm pretty sure that tonight's session will be informative to you and could maybe change your whole life as it did mine. I started online teaching about 4 years ago. I quit my job because I didn't have any flexibility, control over my time, control over my money. And so I quit my job, started teaching online, and came to realize that online teaching is, for South Africans specifically, probably one of the best ways that you can become financially free, independent, one of the best ways you can take back your time and your freedom, because you will be paid in US dollar or euro, which means that for us as online teachers, if someone in our country does or says something that damages our country, I make more money and not less. Which is an incredible thing. And I'll be hosting and sharing some experience from my own life, as also as well as experience from the lives of some of the people that have gone through our courses, and how we could potentially help you to launch your career as an online teacher. So feel free at any point in time during today's session, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. We will have time at the end for Q&A, and we want to give you the opportunity to also ask any of the questions you may have, any of the stories you've heard about online teaching. Let us know about that. We'll address them at the end. We'll also try and keep it
South African time
during today's session, but with Q&A, it might be a little bit longer. So getting started in today's session, there are a couple of things that we want to go through in our time together. First of all is how teaching online works and how you can get started in 2024 launching a teaching career, whether you want to start doing it part-time or full-time. It can be anything that you want it to be for you. We've seen people doing it part-time, only a couple of hours a week, and eventually end up doing it full-time. We also want to talk about who can become an online teacher. I get this question a lot, people being unsure about, I have no teaching experience, I've never taught a lesson in my life, can I become an online teacher? We'll answer that question in today's session. Thirdly, how much you can earn from online teaching, which is obviously a very important question for many people, is this has to be financially viable for you to take up and spend money on becoming an online teacher. And then finally, where to start? What is the first step you need to take if you have not done your TEFL certificate yet, if you haven't taken any steps yet towards a career as an online teacher? We'll show you exactly where to start. And even if you have a TEFL certificate already, we're going to show you how we can help you find a job in today's session as well. Now, getting started, how teaching online works, who will be your students is a very valid question, right? Very important for you to know who you'll be teaching, so that you can know what exactly to expect. Now, you will see students from all different ages, okay? So starting off, adults anywhere from 20 years old to 65 years of age, you will find, and they are taking online English lessons for many different reasons. Some people want to study abroad. Other people have some responsibilities in their current job that they have to execute in the English language. They might have to communicate with people from abroad using the English language. They might have to do presentations or hold meetings or send emails or make phone calls in English, and they need someone like you to help them to do that better. Some people want to do it because they want to immigrate. They want to move to a native English speaking country, and they need to improve their English in order to do so. Some people just take English lessons because they love traveling and they would like to get around foreign countries a lot easier, and English will obviously help them do that. And then also you have some groups of people that they just love learning languages, and this is a hobby for them, and they will pay you good money to help them improve their English. The second group of students you could encounter, and we also help you get both of these groups of students, are children aged anywhere from 5 all the way to 18 years of age. And a couple of different reasons why these students are taking online English lessons. First of all is school. They obviously have English as a subject at school, as most European and Asian students have. So they might need your help to do their assignments a little bit better, or to get higher grades, or whatever it might be. Probably one of the biggest reasons why children are taking online English lessons is because of their parents, because their parents are realizing the world is a lot more accessible. And as parents, they don't speak English very well, so they can't necessarily move to another country, but they want to give that opportunity to their children. And so they are paying for their kids to take online lessons, so that one day when they graduate from school or from university, they can actually have access to the international workplace and the international business world. And so hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of kids are taking lessons specifically because their parents can see how this can open up other opportunities for them in the future. And then also finally, immigration. You've got quite a lot of students who are already living abroad with their families, and they need to get more comfortable using the English language. And once again, they would pay you good money to help them achieve that specific goal. Now, where will you be teaching? Okay, a question that I get a lot as well. Seeing as it's online, where do I find students? Where do I find employment? Now, there are various different places you can find employment, which we help you with in the courses that we offer. First and foremost, are online schools and online academies that need teachers. They have lots of clients, but they need English-speaking teachers to help them teach the clientele that they already have. So that's often the quickest way for you to get started. It's the easiest way. These schools are hiring teachers with no experience whatsoever every single day by the thousands. I have personally spoken to many recruiters, and they're saying we would take teachers with no experience any day of the week. I personally am also a recruiter for a school, and I can tell you exactly the same. Secondly, freelance platforms is something that we also help you to set up and get students on. That's where you're going to earn a lot more money as an online teacher, because you get to set your own hourly rate. Whereas online schools tell you, we will pay you $10 per hour to teach our students, and you don't really have a say in any of that. You just need to say, yes, sure, I'll do it. Whereas with freelance platforms, you get to determine whether you are paid $10, $15, $20, $25, $30 per hour, which is great. And then finally, private students, getting your own private students that pay you directly, meaning you don't go through a platform or a school. They pay you directly, and obviously you're saving on commissions there as well, and your earning potential there is very, very high. Now, what you'll be teaching, the dynamics of your lessons. Now, based on the reasons that I've given you earlier about why people take online English lessons, that will obviously have an impact on what you'll be teaching. Now, probably about 80% of all the lessons that I teach on a daily basis are conversational. It's people that want to have the opportunity to just have a conversation with a native English speaker and get quality feedback of mistakes that they are making. Or they some of them don't want feedback. They just want to practice having a conversation with you so that they can become more confident in their English. And they're paying you to literally have a conversation about whatever topic, whether it be their hobbies or their interests or anything. We have seen it all literally. Secondly, grammar. Some students might want to have a bit of a more focus on grammar. Don't be afraid of the word grammar. When I started teaching 4 years ago, I could identify a mistake. I knew when something was wrong, but I didn't know why something was wrong. But that's something that we help you with in our course. We help you to improve your grammar knowledge. But when you start teaching, that's the best way to start improving your grammar and get the skill of not only knowing that something is a mistake, but knowing why it's a mistake and being able to explain that to your student. But again, that's something that we give you and train you in our courses. Thirdly, task related. Some people might want to take lessons because they're preparing for a presentation for their company, or they're hosting meetings on a regular basis, or they're maybe preparing to take some job interviews with international companies, and they want to pay you and have regular lessons with you to help them prepare for that. Which is something that you can do as someone that's fluent in the English language. And then finally, exam preparation, which is a bit of a specialist area in online teaching for students that want to move to English-speaking countries. They all have to pass an English exam, and they need someone like you to help them prepare for that exam, because they need to pass that exam to actually get a visa in order to get into that country, and they're willing to pay more for someone that can offer them that. And again, we offer courses in helping you do exam preparation to become an exam preparation specialist at the end of the day and earn more money teaching students in that specific area. Now, your classroom will obviously not be an offline classroom. It will not be a physical classroom. It will all be online, happening on various different platforms. Most online schools have their own online classrooms. They provide you with all the training you need in order to use their classroom. So if you feel like you're not that good with technology, don't worry about that. It's part of the onboarding for all of these online schools. Other platforms you'll be using is Zoom, which is the one we're using today, or Skype or Google Meet, or any of the online telecommunication or video conferencing software that most of us would have used at least once in the past. Now, your hours. A question that I get a lot is, what kind of hours do I need to work as an online teacher? Because there are some stories going around that you need to wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning to teach some lessons. You can if you want to. I have never done that in the 4 years that I've been teaching online. Your two main markets will be the Asian market and the European market. Now, if we look at the time zones, and compare that with the South African time zone. If we look at the Asian time zone, depending on the country, they are anywhere from 5 to 7 hours in front of us, okay? Which means that if someone comes back from work at 6 p.m. in Japan, which is 7 hours ahead of us, that means that's 9 a.m. in the morning for us, okay? Meaning it's working time for us. Or if they want to take a lesson at 9 p.m. Their time, that could be something like 2 p.m. In South African time. So our time zones with Asia works really, really well. If we look at the European comparison, Europe for half of the year, 6 months in the year, has exactly the same time zone as us. And for the other 6 months, they're 1 hour behind us. So again, in the European context, what I've learned over the past 4 years is that Due to COVID, a lot of people are working from home, meaning they don't have to wait till after work to take a lesson. They can fit it into their day over lunchtime, in the morning, whenever. And so if they decide to take a lesson at 8 a.m., that's exactly 8 a.m. South African time as well, which works really, really well. And so the time zones with Asia and South Africa, as well as Europe and South Africa, works really well. I, as an online teacher, work only from 8 in the morning until about 6 or 7 p.m. at night, South African time. Now, here are some screenshots from lessons that I've done recently. This was a group lesson I had, a conversational lesson where we spoke about working abroad and talking about the flexibility in your job. And for this lesson, I had people from Russia, I had people from Poland, I had people from Greece, I had people from China in this lesson, and it was literally just an open conversation between all of us. Here is a screenshot from a lesson with a student that I currently teach from Brazil. She's a social media manager. And so here we're just talking about some of the posts that she created. I'm helping her to improve that a little bit, improve her writing English, because it's something she uses in her job every single day. If we go to this one, this is one of my students from Spain. He's showing me his framed tickets of all the concerts, of all the bands and artists he's attended. And so as you can see, a lot of the content of our lessons it's not formal. It's not like a university or a school classroom. It's very informal, talking about everyday kinds of topics. Here's one of my current students from Berlin in Germany, showing me her dog, introducing me to Vento, which is his name. So as you can see, having lots of fun in our lessons. Now, getting to the question of how much you can earn as an online teacher. And again, please feel free at any point to post any questions in the chat. We'll have a Q&A at the end where we'll be addressing those questions. How much can you earn as an online teacher? Now, we have to ask that question based on two different things: working for an online school or working for a freelance platform. Let's first look at online schools. Now, as a teacher who has no experience teaching or teaching online whatsoever, you can expect to earn a starting salary of between $8 and $10 per hour of your time. Okay, now with the current exchange rate, that means around about 190 Rand per hour. Now, let's say you choose to work 10 hours a week. That means you earn 7,680 Rand for that month, working 10 hours a week, earning $10 per hour. If you choose to work 20 hours per week, which is a part-time job, generally speaking, you earn just over 15,000 Rand. If you choose to work 30 hours a week, you will earn right around 23,000 Rand per month for that specific rate with the current exchange rate. Now, currently, the median or average hourly rate for people working with online schools, and specifically for South Africans working with online schools, is $13 per hour, which is around about 250 Rand per hour. Now, if you work 10 hours a week at that pay, you earn almost 10,000 Rand per month. If you work 20 hours per week, you earn almost 20,000 Rand per month. And if you work 30 hours per week at that rate, you earn almost 30,000 Rand per month, working only 30 hours per week. Now, that's for online schools. Remember, I said freelance platforms has a lot higher earning potential. So let's look at what you can potentially earn on freelance platforms. The average rate that teachers charge on freelance platforms at this point in time is right around $17.50 per hour, which is just over 330 Rand per hour. Now, based on that rate, if you work 10 hours a week, you can earn 13,000 Rand. If you work 20 hours per week, you can earn almost 27,000 Rand. And if you work 30 hours per week, which again is still not a full-time job, you earn around about 40,000 Rand per month. So again, the great thing for us as South Africans is that you always earn in US dollar, and that translates really well into the South African rands for us as South African online teachers. The average earnings for South Africans, this was published, I believe, 2 years ago, is between 17 and 28,000 Rand per month, or between 900 and 1,400 US dollars per month for South Africans, which I think is a fair salary. And this is the average. If you choose to work more hours, you can obviously earn more money as well. Here are some of the profiles of the teachers that have gone through our programs recently. And this is their stats on one of the freelance platforms that they are teaching on. This is one of the main freelance platforms, freelance teaching platforms out there. It's one that we also help you get into. And keep in mind that most teachers work for more than one freelance platform or more than one school. As you can see here, this teacher, he completed his course with us about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. As of today, he has 23 active students only on this platform. He's taught 1,826 lessons. His current US dollar hourly rate is $25, which is almost 500 Rand that he earns per hour of teaching. Next up, Desi has 40 active students on this platform, taught over 3,000 lessons on this platform, and is currently charging 19 US dollars per hour, which is around about 380, 370 Rand per hour. Next up, Deline. This is the lady that shared her story at the beginning of our session today. She has 10 active students doing this part-time, taught 788 lessons, and charging currently 15 US dollars per hour, which is right around 280 Rand per hour. Going on, Kobus, who also recently did our course, has 22 active students, almost taught 1,500 lessons, and is currently on a very low price of 7 US dollars. But he's taking the strategy of working more hours and having more students and increasing his income in that way. Dinette actually completed our program a month and a half ago, and she already has 24 active students on this platform. She's taught 209 lessons, and she's already at $12 per hour. She, as I said, did our program. She completed our program in February, I believe, and she already has 24 active students. And she also works for some other companies and platforms as well. Now, remember to write down any questions. If you have any questions, post them in the chat. At the end, we'll take some time to address any questions you may have. Now, who can become an online English teacher? Okay, there are 3 requirements. Okay, you have to speak English fluently, obviously, because this will be the language that you're teaching. And this is the main asset you have as someone who wants to become an online English teacher. Secondly, you've got to enjoy working with people, because obviously you'll be working with people. It will be online though, which makes it a bit easier. And then finally, the third requirement, anyone who has a laptop or a computer with a webcam and an internet connection. It's as simple as that. Then you can become an online English teacher. We've helped people from almost all backgrounds. We've had lawyers, nurses, teachers, real estate agents, financial professionals, salespeople, occupational therapists, pastors, secretaries, IT professionals. We've had people from all those different backgrounds come through our courses and build really successful online teaching careers, whether it be full-time or part-time. So if you think that your background does not favor you, I want you to rethink that, because the reality is you'll be working with students who are in that workplace. So if you have a background in medicine or law, you'll probably find students that are in that background, and you understanding not only the English language, but also their background is really a match made in heaven and the perfect combination I have so many students that are pharmacists. I have students that are IT professionals. I've seen it all, and your background is in some way, shape, or form relevant to the students you'll be teaching. Now, where to start? If you want to become an online English teacher, the first step is you need a TEFL certificate. Okay, and this is basically the international minimum requirement for anyone that wants to become an online English teacher is you need a TEFL certificate. Okay, if you already have your TEFL certificate, step number 2 is to create your resume and introduction video, which we help you with in our mentorship program. Those are the two most important resources you will need when you start applying to companies and freelance platforms. Number 3, you start applying for jobs. And number 4, you start teaching. It's really as simple as that. Now, what we provide you with is everything you need in every step and beyond. We provide you with a TEFL certification, which is accredited and internationally recognized by the CPD accreditation group based in the UK. And it's recognized in every single school you will be applying to. We also offer a mentorship program, which is something that not many companies out there offer. Is a lot of companies will help you get a TEFL certificate, and then you're basically on your own. Okay, you need to find a job on your own, which is the hardest part of becoming an online teacher. And so we created a 3-week mentorship program where we help you find jobs. And we have a 91% success rate of all people that have gone through that program actually got jobs. Now, the rest of the 9%, you might think, where are they at? Why are they struggling? Well, they either haven't completed the course or they found another job offer and gave up on online teaching because of that offer. But I've had so many people that stopped and gave up on online teaching because of other opportunities. A few months later, they come back and they resume their journey as online teachers. So we do help you find jobs as well, which we are really good at. We have a lot of experience. I personally have done countless interviews, and we've created a list of schools and freelance platforms that are actively hiring South Africans. We understand their interview processes. We know what they want to see on your resume or your CV. We know exactly what you should do in the interview. We understand the onboarding, and we can give you some inside info to make sure your application is successful. Number 3, we also give you a resource library. So once you start teaching and you need some lesson materials, we have hundreds of lesson materials you can access for absolutely free once you've completed any one of our courses. And then finally, something that we pride ourselves in is lifetime support. We never leave you on your own. We want to make sure that we help you all the way from step number 1, all the way through earning money, teaching online, and even beyond that. We have a support structure in place in the form of a WhatsApp group, monthly team sessions where we answer questions, we help you overcome your challenges, and you will never lose your support from TEFL Online. We guarantee lifetime support in your career as an online teacher. Now, our TEFL certification course basically gives you what a lot of people feel they don't have. Like, how do I teach a new language? We show you exactly how to. How to teach grammar, speaking, listening, reading, and writing. We help you with that. How to create effective lesson plans. We don't only help you create lesson plans, we give you lesson plans that you can use as is. And then finally, how to test and evaluate your students' progress. We give you all of that. So if you were worried about you don't know how to teach, you don't know how to teach a language, don't be worried. We cover all of that in our TEFL courses. Here are the options for our TEFL courses. So if you have done nothing up until this point, you don't have a TEFL course, you are starting literally from scratch. Here's what we offer you. 3 different options. First one is the standard 120-hour online teacher program, which is for 2,999 Rand. That includes your TEFL certificate and a self-study version of the mentorship program, which helps you to get a job. I recommend this option for people who have teaching experience, not online, but you have teaching experience, that's a good option for you because your resume will already reflect good experience. Now, if you don't have any experience teaching, I recommend one of the following options for you. Number two, the professional 120-hour online teacher program for 3,999 Rand, which includes your TEFL certificate and the live mentorship program that happens on Zoom, where I look at your experience, your background, your qualifications, and I help you write a resume using the right wording that I know a recruiter or interviewer will be looking for. So I recommend this to anyone that does not have any experience or any teaching background, because you might need a little more help creating your resume and your introduction video. Now, the third option, if you have no teaching experience whatsoever, you don't have a TEFL certificate, and you're terrified of online teaching, this is the option for you, because the advanced 150-hour online teacher program for 4,999 Rand includes your TEFL certificate, the live version of the mentorship program, and a 30-hour practicum where you have the opportunity to teach actual students from Europe and Asia, where they know that you are a teacher in training. They don't pay for the lesson. So it's a very low pressure environment for you to become comfortable in the online classroom, which is a very, very good experience. And some of our students that have done the practicum as well, meaning option number 3, have also gotten actual students from the practicum saying, I want to continue learning with you and I'll start paying you for that. So these 3 options are for any people that have done nothing to take a step towards being an online teacher, meaning you don't have a TEFL certificate, you're starting from scratch. Feel free to take a screenshot, but this is also on our website, which I will share with you a little bit later. Now, for those people who already have a TEFL certificate, but you're having a hard time finding a job, one of these 3 options will be for you. Option number 1, the standard career mentorship. Again, I recommend this one to people who have teaching background and you have a TEFL certificate, because this is the self-study version of the mentorship program, meaning you don't get my real-time feedback on your resume, your introduction video, and all the rest. You watch instructional videos where I tell you exactly what to do, what to put on your resume, what to say in your introduction video, but you don't actually get my feedback. Where if you have background in teaching, you wouldn't need a lot of help. Option number 2, if you don't have a background in teaching, you do have a TEFL certificate, this is the one for you, because this includes the mentorship program, the live version, where you're online with me. I look at your resume, I help you to edit it. I give you real-time feedback on how to prepare for an interview. We actually recreate an interview in one of the sessions. I watch you, I give you feedback to make sure that you're ready when you step into your first actual interview. Now, in this option, we've also included one of the exam preparation courses, the specialist exam preparation courses, which will allow you to prepare students for taking the exams they need to take to move to English-speaking countries. So you get that included in your package for this option as well. Thirdly, and finally, if you don't have any background in teaching, and you have a TEFL certificate, but you're struggling to find a job and you're terrified of starting to teach, the third option is for you, because it includes the live mentorship program. It includes a specialist exam preparation course, which will teach you how to teach students to prepare for these exams, meaning you can charge higher hourly rates because you're a specialized teacher. And this includes the 30-hour practicum, where you get to actually teach actual students in a very low pressure environment where they know you're in a training phase. They don't pay for these lessons. So it's a great place for you to get used to online teaching. Now, we also do have an option if you just want the live mentorship program as a standalone program. we do offer that at 1,999 Rand, if that is all you want. And remember, for any of these options, it all includes access to our resource library and part of our lifetime support groups on WhatsApp and on Facebook, and the monthly sessions as well. All right, now, if you are interested only in, you're already teaching online, you have students, you have a job, but you want to take it to the next level, you want to earn more money, you want to be able to charge more money, here are all of our specialist exam preparation courses that helps you to prepare students for these exams that they need to take if they want to immigrate or study abroad. And all of these courses are 999 Rand. You can choose which one you want to do. All of them are very popular internationally. There are on average 4.5 million people that take these exams every single year. So if you're already teaching, but you want to take your teaching to the next level, one of these options might be for you. So we're getting close to the end of our session. I see that we have some questions in the chat already. If you have any questions you'd like to add, post them in the chat now. We'll get to them very, very soon. But we are running a promotion for everyone that took the time to attend this session online today. So if you purchase any of our courses before midnight, which is next week, Friday, at the 26th of April, 2024, if you buy any of our courses, and I'm so sorry for misspelling Friday, but if you purchase any of our programs or courses before next week, Friday, you will get 10% off of any of the courses using the promo code PROMO24 as one word. So please take a screenshot of this so that you have the promo code. We'll also send you an email afterwards, and you can ask me for this if you're struggling to find it as well. But 10% off of any of our programs for everyone that attended this session. You can use that if you'd like. Lastly, payment options. We on our website, if you enroll in any of our courses, here are the payment options. It's EFT. You have the opportunity to pay via EFT, or you have the option to pay via credit card or debit card on our website. Or if you feel like it's quite a lot of money to spend at one time and you'd like to enroll in a payment plan, we also offer that. And the payment plan is basically 3 payments. When you enroll for your course, you pay 50% of the total course fee. The second payment is 1 month later, that's 25%. And the final payment is a month after that, also another 25%. And there's a 7% interest added to this. Now, please note, this is only for the bundles that include the TEFL courses, not for the mentorship programs, because you will finish that within a month. Now, I'm also posting our website in the chat right now so that you have it. All of the options for the different courses that I've shown you today are available on the website that I just posted in the chat, www.etfonline.co.za. If you would like to contact me privately, you can see my email address on the screen right now. You can also see my phone number. You can WhatsApp me or give me a call if you have any other questions, or you would like to have some further conversation about what we spoke about in today's session. That is the story, everyone. So let's look at a few questions here. We have 2 questions posted in the chat. Again, if you want to add any questions, feel free to post them in the chat right now, and we'll address them. So Gabriel, thank you for your questions. Gabriel said, I have a 120-hour TEFL course from TEFL Universal, which I completed on 1st of February. I applied for work with them, yet haven't gotten any feedback from them regarding the work that I applied for. I applied to many different TEFL institutions, yet all of their specifications are above that which I have. Now, Gabriel, I cannot tell you how many times I hear this same struggle every single week, especially with people coming from TEFL Universal, because you're pretty much on your own in terms of finding a job. And that's why we we've done all the work for you. We know which companies are hiring South Africans. You don't need a degree for the companies on our list. And we really help you all the way. Personally, like, I know there's a myth going around saying that the market is saturated. There are no more job opportunities for TEFL teachers, which is absolutely rubbish, excuse my language. Because every 6 weeks, personally, I mean, my schedule is absolutely full with students. I have to show students away and say no to them. But every 6 weeks, I apply to a random company I find online. And every single time I've been invited to an interview and I've gotten the job. You just need to know where to apply, how to approach your interview, what to put in your resume, what to put in your introduction video. So what I would recommend for you, Gabriel, is the mentorship program. It sounds like that's what you need, because in your applications, it could be, number one, that some of those schools aren't hiring. As you said, you don't meet their requirements. It could be that your resume isn't using the right wording or showcasing the right experience. It could be that your introduction video is not showcasing the right experience or has the right content inside of it. Or it could be that you're applying to the wrong places. It could be any of those, and all of the above we tackle and go through in a lot of detail in the mentorship program. Now, with the mentorship program, we run new groups every single month. We limit it to 4 to 5 people per group. This month, we're currently busy with 2 groups. The next group starts on the 7th of May. So the first week of every month, we start new mentorship groups where we take people through this. We've had people find jobs even before the end of the 3-week mentorship program. Dinette, which is the candidate I showed you earlier, she literally applied on a Friday and got her first student on a Sunday. And she's at 24 students now, and she finished her mentorship program in February. So within a month and a half, she already has 24 students. It's really important to have the right things that when you're applying, and to apply to the right places. Thank you very much for that question, Gabriel. I hope that I've addressed it. Any other questions? Gabriel says, thanks. I greatly appreciate the information. You're more than welcome. Elita says, thank you for sharing the necessary information. Much appreciated. You're more than welcome. Any other questions? You're welcome to post it in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself and ask the question live, you can also do that. I'm going to give a few more seconds for any other questions, and then we'll wrap up our session together. Again, you will find my contact details on the screen. You're welcome to take a screenshot of that, email me, visit our website, or send me a WhatsApp or give me a call. I'd be happy to carry this conversation on. And then also, please remember to use the promo code promo24. If you purchase any of our courses by next week, Friday, you will get 10% off any of them. So I don't see any more questions in the chat. Give it 10 more seconds, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. Well, folks, that seems to be it. Now, if you have any other questions that you feel like I haven't addressed, or you'd like to have a conversation with me, please feel free. You all have my WhatsApp number on the WhatsApp group. You can post questions on the group if you want to, or just find my number in there, send me a message privately, and we can keep this conversation going. But then finally, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us for today's session. I really appreciate your time, and I wish you all a very, very good week. And I'll hopefully talk to you soon. Have a good one, everyone. Goodbye.